All right. We want to welcome everybody to our first episode of something new that we are doing. Something that I'm very passionate about, even though it's our first episode. I just kind of hype, bro. So I was talking to my man Source over there, and I was like, man, we got to do something new. We stuck up in this quarantine situation. Not a lot of sports kicking it around, and it's not something that we're totally new to doing because we've done some things different other than sports. We've talked about hip hop albums and things of that nature, but we're going to talk a little movies and television because that is in the description of our Sports Bar Podcast Facebook group. We always say, that, sports is our thing, but hip hop, television, movies, beer, all it's always on the table. So we're going to talk a lot of TV and entertainment. Before I get too far, though, Source, I got to bring it on in. What's good, brother?
What up, bro? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. We're doing something new today, man. But I'm hyped, man. I've been thinking about this for a minute.
Yeah, it's always trying to add something new in for the people, man. See what sticks, what doesn't. But this should be fun, man, because this is new, and I think people will enjoy it, especially if once we post this up and just talk about the whole thing, the whole movie, people gonna be tripping anyway. So let's go. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so we're going to call it Run It Back. And that's going to be the name of the new segment that we have in the SBP. It's called Run It Back. And, of course, I couldn't come up with any other. I was trying to think of a billion names, man, a billion things. And, a few things bounced here, a few things came there. But I was like, you know what? We are a sports group. And you think about it. How many times in your young lifetime have you said run it back? You see what I'm saying? You might have been talking about basketball. You know what I'm saying? You run it back. You was at your homie's house and you was ready to go home. This last game. And then you lose. Now run it back. So I thought it was a perfect name, man.
No doubt. I love it. That's why I wanted you to let the people know, where it came from. They might have figured it out eventually, but, I'm just going to put it out there and get into it. I'm hyped. Let's go.
And what we can be doing is really running back movies and TV shows to an extent because most of them, a lot of them be old movies. It might have been classics. Some of them might not be as old. Eventually, we'll get into talking about probably TV series as a whole. But today, we're going to start it off. We got to start it off right. We're going to start it off with a classic. And the year was 1995. And your man's Ice Cube wanted to put something out there for the people to depict the hood in a different light other than, all the gang violence and all the bad news that comes out of the hood. He wanted to do something kind of funny, and he came up with the gem called Friday.
Literally my favorite movie, as I've said a million times to y'all, literally my favorite movie of all time. Friday is perfection, man. It's perfection. There's not much they could have done better, in my opinion. I love this movie, and I know a lot of y'all do too, but probably not to the extent I do. I know. I've never heard anybody say Friday was their favorite movie but me. So maybe I don't know. But let's get into it. Shoot.
Yeah, so written by Cube and Pooh.
DJ Pooh.
Yeah, co-produced by Ice Cube and directed by F. Gary Gray. And Cube said, man, before they made this movie, he was like, look, man, I know you done like 2 or 3 of my videos. I know you haven't really ventured out there in the whole movie game, but I need you to do it. And F. Gary Gray jumped on it, man. And when they got started. This thing was a complete classic, man. Complete classic. And what I love about it the most, bro, is like when they first come on, they just take you start to see a scene of everybody that's gonna be in the movie, a quick shot here, Smokey over here, out the bed already smoking, and Debo sleep. And they take us to the Jones household off top, and we get to see all of them in the crib sleep. And the first thing I noticed in this movie, right, we got Pops, rest in peace to John Witherspoon.
Indeed.
He's laying in bed, with Miss Jones. And the first thing I noticed, man, I don't know if you go through this at home, man, but did you notice that Miss Jones was all up in his back? All that bed over to the right, she all up in his back while he's sleeping.
I can't even, in case my wife hear this, I can't really say that because
I better be careful too, huh?
It's more me. Like, I don't really do it on purpose. Sometimes, you just be kind of wild when you sleep. I sleep kind of wild, I guess, is the case. Yeah, I can't say it, but I understand. Like, it's happened before. Don't get me wrong. Like, I just can't say it at this point right now. And that's what's going on.
You love Mr. Jones though, and your boy Pops. How you having a dream? Like he's sitting there having a dream and talking in his sleep, talking about, can I get a 2-piece special with hot sauce and all the fries you can give me?
Hey, bro, you
in
know,
your sleep, bro.
a subconscious will get you. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. He could have been dreaming about a whole lot of other things. Better stick with that 2-piece.
You know what's crazy enough about that is, did you ever notice in the movie that he thanked the person in his dream for the food? I mean, like, ever in your life, do you think you've ever thanked anybody for anything in your dream? You know what I'm saying? He said, thank you.
Hey, he really wanted what he wanted.
Yeah, that's off top. That was like, if you're gonna start a movie, man, you need to start it with scenes like that. It's got to be something funny, something catchy.
Yeah.
A lot of folks had seen. Yes, a lot of folks had, some folks had seen John Witherspoon through some of the Robert Townsend, flicks and a little bit of a stand-up, but he wasn't as widely known yet because this was the role that pretty much really set it off for him, from a young and old alike, man. So
great.
Yeah. But then we get the next scene, which we all remember as well, is we get a knock on the door. Craig gets up, goes to the door, and lo and behold, the sisters are at the door. Jehovah's Witnesses come to the door. And who is the first person you recognize? It was LaWanda Page, who we know as Aunt Esther.
Aunt Esther.
Aunt Esther, man, that we know from Sanford and Son fame. And the thing that stuck out the most to me, and I know I wasn't the only person that caught this, is she gets the cursing off top in the movie when he shut the door. Now, sweet old Aunt Esther that we know from Sanford and Son always got the good book in her hand, praising the whole 9 yards. But in this movie, the first thing we get to see of her is she cursing in the movie and then for shutting the door on.
That was perfect though, because if you expected one thing, not that she was clean on Sanford and Son, because she would call Fred a fish-eyed fool, even on a regular basis. But of course, she couldn't curse with so much, even if she did. But you got to see her in a different light, and it was just like, bam, you punch you in the face with that.
Yeah, that was like crazy. 2 bangers back to back. Witherspoon talking in his sleep. LaWanda Page coming out with the explicitives or whatever the word is. It's like, it's crazy, man. Explicit.
Expletives. It's all right. It's all right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, my good sir. That's what it was. And so we get 2 bangers off the bat. And then we switch to a scene that we all have done probably a billion times, especially as kids. Well, I know I still do it, but I pay for the cereal, but in this house. But yeah, your boy Craig goes to the joint. He comes out with this big gigantic bowl, pour all his cereal in it, and got about a little bit of milk in the crib. So that's just crazy, man. That's just a little bit crazy.
You know what I've realized I mean, not to get too personal, but we've been here before. My stomach just ain't, milk and my stomach just don't go together no more like it used to. But trying that, that like Ripple and stuff like that, I wasn't really trying to do all that. But what I realized is that I used to drown my cereal in milk. I used to drown cereal, like, then come back, I still have milk left over and reload the bowl. Now, with this Ripple, or probably even if I was still drinking milk, all I need is a little bit of liquid to touch it. I don't know about no water. Like, I ain't trying to go down that route. But as long as a little bit of liquid get on that thing, it's good. It's good money. I understood why people ate crunchy cereal, for real. Like I said, I used to dump my junk, but now I get it.
Every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. You ever had the parents run you out of the kitchen, man, for always being in the refrigerator?
That one line, close the refrigerator. It's more close the refrigerator than get out the kitchen. But yeah, you can't leave that door open. It's more like Cosby Show. with the Penguins. You know, it was at the Joan with the Joan Open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like that for me.
Then we fast forward a little bit, and we get to see Miss Jones again. She's finally up and out of the bed. Shout out to Anna Maria Horsford, which we've known her from a lot of stuff, mainly Amen and the Wayans brothers.
She is the
they working
on low key. She is the female version of Samuel Jackson. She is in everything.
Yes.
You see with black people, she is in that joint. For real.
Well, let me tell you what, I don't know if you ever thought about this. So we see the scene, she's in there and she cooking, you know, and Craig looking at what you cooking, and she telling what she's about to put out some eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes, and leftover pork chops.
So disrespectful.
So my thing is, before we even get to the part about she ain't cook Craig in it, only black folks will have 3 different types of pork in one breakfast. Like, did you ever notice that? They got bacon, sausage, and leftover pork chops.
Don't care. Blood pressure. I mean, what?
Man, that's crazy. They go through all that. You know, boy. Then you hear Pops with the famous scene. Pops calling Craig, come here. You know. And he asked his mama, "Did you ain't tell Pops about me losing my job?" He's like, "I wouldn't tell on my baby." But sure enough, Craig go in the bathroom, Pops sitting on the toilet, and you know, we find out that he does know.
Absolutely.
And talking to Craig about grabbing some papers, and when Craig become a dog catcher like him,
dog catcher, yeah, man. honest work.
Come on, man. Like, first of all, I'm not going up in no bathroom. You gonna have to beat me, put me on punishment, take away. I'm not going in no bathroom, have no conversation with you, Pops. It's not happening.
And he's been doing that since he was 2, 3. He might not want to do it, but he kind of trained to do that, Joe. Now he wants to, his body just automatically go in the bathroom.
I'm not going no bathroom. He would have to put me on punishment, bro. And I don't know how much punishment. I mean, I guess he out of school, so I don't know what they gonna do with him, but he still went up in that bathroom. So yeah,
I don't know.
I think just before then, I think I did mess. If I remember correctly, though, just before he went in there, is when we first saw Felicia, I believe, and she came to the door, wanted to buy. She borrowed a microwave with some chicken. But first of all, you know, how you gonna borrow somebody's microwave to take to your house? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Microwave, car, VCR. She was trying to borrow some of everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's funny. Have you seen her lately, though?
I looked her up one time just to see, because I never knew what she really looked like. I can't even remember what her name is. Now I was more focused on looking at Miss Parker probably at the time. But
yeah, she looked nothing like Felicia, man. You know, she had this son that played, I believe he played for the U a couple of years back. So my first time I realized that it was her, well, I hadn't even thought about it, to be honest with you. And she were playing, I want to tell you, it was either Florida or Florida State they were playing. Mm-hmm. And they flashed, and she was there in the crowd. And you may know her from Friday. So, yeah, but no. So she come over, wanted to borrow the microwave. And then we fast forward a little bit, and we get to another classic scene is we see, what's her name? Craig's girlfriend.
Paula J.
Yeah, so Paula J is in there, and she's sitting there, music bumping, called Craig on the phone, talking about somebody talking about he went to the show last night, and he said he ain't go to no show. And then, you ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. And she all upset. Hood rich at his finest, man.
If I remember correctly, maybe I'm wrong. I'm like, was somebody else in the room with her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure, I'm not tripping.
No, I'm going to tell you what's funny. It was a dude laying on the bed behind her, sleep.
Yeah.
On her bed, sleep, but she on the phone, you know what I'm saying, laying Craig out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying, for supposedly being up wanted at home. He was at the show last night with this other girl, up on this other girl. But that's the classic part about this. People might lie to you now. I guarantee, I know for a fact, there's people was probably there 12, 13, 14 times watching that movie or seeing that movie before they realized it was a dude laying behind her on the bed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you focus on what she's saying and how she's wilding out, and then maybe you just realize, is that a leg? What is that?
I probably got at least 2 or 3 Facebook friends that I can honestly say I put them on to that fact probably sometime in the last 5 or 6 years.
Oh yeah.
And they've seen the movie a billion times and didn't realize. I mean, I'll be honest, I've probably seen it 5 or 6 times before it hit me. But I ain't like some of these folks 15 times. You know what I'm saying? Seeing this movie. There's a dude laying on that bed, sleep behind her. Like, the nerve of her. You know what I'm saying? Laying out your boy.
The unmitigated gall.
And then shout out to Regina King, man. Like, stay working because she's coming up right in the next scene. Regina King, stay working. Little Brenda from 227. And man, she's got like TV and movie credits, like over 40 of them. Most recently, what was it, with Bill Street Can Talk. And then she was on The Watchmen on HBO, which was, I don't know, it might not really be your type of thing, but it's my type of thing. She was really, really good. She was actually pretty much almost the lead in that. But Regina, stay working, man.
Absolutely, yeah. And now she's on the other side of the camera as well. And I remember not too long ago on the awards, she had won, I don't remember if it was it wasn't an Emmy, it must have been an Oscar. And she was like, I'm committing myself to hire, 50% women going forward on my next projects. So trying to make a difference in Hollywood directly while you have a chance, especially when you are somebody that's been established that long, man. Like, she should be able to do what she want to do if she can get it done,
Yeah, man. She's a long career, man. They've been in movies with Pac, Will Smith, voicing the hood classic, the Boondocks.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Like, she stayed working, man. Phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. This around about the time, though, she comes in, her and Craig get into another little brother, sister spat or whatever. And then they go off, and then Craig goes in his room, and we finally see your boy Smokey. Hood style, pops through the window in my man's house or whatever, and asking Craig why you ain't at work and all this stuff, man. It's crazy. You ever had a homie come through the window?
Nah, bro. Well, okay. I had a homie run into my house, running away from somebody, and the dude tried to come through the window. Yeah, that was not a homie. I mean, he was out. I mean, we didn't have no problem, but I mean, he wanted to fight him so bad he tried to come through my window. Like, yeah. So that's as close as somebody coming through the window. A homie, anyway.
Yeah, well, your boy Craig talking about, hold on, go out front, I'm gonna get dressed. And first thing I'm thinking about, like a few minutes later in the movie, how much like getting dressed you gotta do to go sit on the porch? Mm-hmm. Like, he getting all dressed up, fresh flannel, a long sleeve shirt. Like, how much dressing up you really gotta do to go sit on the porch? You know what I'm saying?
How much flannel we rocking in LA? I mean, I guess it could have been a cool morning. Who knows?
It's hard to tell. Like, even through the movie, like, a lot of cats in there with tank tops, t-shirts, short sleeve shirts. He rocking long sleeves, man. But I don't know. But I guess it's just another day in LA, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Cali, that's what they do. So, so after they on it kicking it, and the boy talking about why he got fired, and he said, I don't know, they got me on camera. Must not stealing some boxes or something. You think Craig really stole them boxes, man?
No, Craig ain't stealing boxes. I mean, if he had stolen the box, where the boxes at? I need to see the boxes to believe that Craig stole the boxes. Craig ain't crazy. Craig was a dedicated worker. He ain't even smoke like that for real. So why you gonna be out here stealing boxes? He got a job, and he's still living at home with his mom. So he was getting money and being able to do what he wanted to do. Not even save it, just spend it.
I got a theory, though. I don't think he stole them boxes either, but I think he know who did. He probably was lookout or something, because you think about it, he obviously ain't stealing boxes, or what was in it. He ain't got no money. I mean, he obviously about to run into a situation where he had to ask everybody in the world for some loot to save him and smoke his behind. So he obviously ain't had nothing to sell. True. So I think he might have known, because you think about it, he didn't sound real convinced. He just like, I don't know, they said they got me on the camera stealing some boxes. He won't overly hype about it, but he just kind of said it, he kind of just rolled out. So I think he knows somebody was in there stealing, and he might have had to look out for him or something. But Craig ain't got the boxes.
How you just gonna put Craig out there like that, man? How you Craig don't even smoke. You got Craig out here being the lookout. That's not right, man. You just I'm hurt that you said that. I'm hurt. Red said it kind of looked like you. So, I don't think he was stealing boxes with somebody else that looked like him. I don't know.
Yeah, he knows something. But anyway, so they sit on the porch kicking it, and your boy Big Worm pull up in the orange Chevy. And this was the first thing I thought about. It wasn't even the fact that it was a clean orange Chevy. It wasn't even the fact that he had the aquamarine colored rollers in his head. It was the fact that the interior of the Chevy was also orange. So he went orange on orange.
He said, y'all gonna see me. Hey, in Richmond, let's think about back in the day. We like, it was some cars that would pop up and you knew who it was. Like, based on the color and the style, you knew who it was. Whether you wanted to know or you didn't want to know, you knew who it was in that car. So Richmond, California, Richmond, Virginia, I don't know.
Richmond. And we can't forget our first sighting of the lovely Nia Long. She comes through, jogging through while the cats are sitting out on the porch, man. And and I'm just trying to figure out what we were young, we all done it. So they go for a conversation from how fine she is, and she probably heading down to the new spa, whatever, the workout. And then her moms get slid up in the mix. They talking about how fine and cute her mom is. And we get the first, I don't know if it was the first or not. I guess it might have been the first lie told by Smokey, because, we always got that one cat in the crew. He crew, but you always know he gonna lie and exaggerate. And he was talking about, I don't know if you remember, he slid the line in. Yeah, mama wanted me to hit it, but I had to go to work. Now, first of all, let's stop right there. Especially back in the day. How many brothers go pass up that opportunity to go to work? You just call in late, right?
Especially Smokey.
Smokey
did already.
Of all people.
Of all people. See, if it was Craig, I could understand. Craig was kind of responsible.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Come on, Smokey. Like, we really supposed to believe you had to get to work on time. You was gonna pass that opportunity up. Come on. That's what we need.
Saying Felicia.
That's when you needed the Ed Level meme. Come on, son.
Come on, son.
Come on. Hilarious, man. So then they head over to Smokey's crib after that, and after all the interactions and everything, between seeing her go down the street and Big Worm. They get over to the crib, and we see your boy Stanley for the first time, hollering at folks to stay off his grass. And I'm like, it's always got to be that one eccentric looking dude in the hood. Like, what is Stanley actually? He in the hood, or close enough to the hood. But he got to be the guy, the bathrobe and the smoking jacket all the time, checking his grass out, seeing who's stepping on it. It's always got to be that one guy, eccentric and bougie.
I don't know. I don't remember, like, paying attention to the size of his house compared to everybody else's house. But he act like the person that got the big house in the neighborhood. Later on,
his house wasn't that big, though.
Don't touch my grass. Like, yeah, you want everything pristine. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there was something wrong with him.
He looks like that guy that was used to living good at one point, and then he was married or something, and the wife left him, and she took probably half. So he had to downsize a little bit, but he's not gonna give up certain things. Mm-hmm. That's who Stanley reminds me of in this joint.
Rock his jacket. That's it. Yeah.
So they make their way over to Smokey's crib, right? And there's, mom in the house. And first of all, was I the only one that noticed? Did you notice, like, mama got issues, man? You see, she was kind of sizing. I think she was sizing Craig up.
See, I feel like that's a normal mama thing.
Especially when they don't have no man.
When they had no man, they be like, hey, yeah, you know, I'm just saying.
And yeah, so they get in the room, you know, kick it for a minute. All of a sudden, she busts in, wanting to go to the store. She need to get some cigarettes. Of course, she don't get Smokey enough loot. And, what she told him? He said, "This ain't enough.
Make it enough.
Make it enough." I don't know about you, but I done been through that quite a few times in my life. Not necessarily with mama, but I done been through it quite a few times in my life. So, you know, it is what it is. So they head to the store. They get into them, they head to the store. And this is one of my favorite parts, man, because they get to the store. And this is the first time we see your boy Ezell. Ezell come down the street with these stone acid wash jeans on. It's about Bama for his birthday and all that. But the first thing you see when you see the store said that it's black owned.
Right.
And you walk into the store and you see, I guess it was an Asian guy with a scully on, and he comes over behind the counter. So, I'm like, okay. And this is the other thing, right? And you gotta feel me on this one. So when you first get in the store, right? So it's black owned.
Mm-hmm.
First thing I notice is you see behind the counter, right? Behind the counter, it's a bunch of beer posters and stuff on the wall. Man, 80% of the women on the posters white, man. You in the hood store. I mean, I ain't mad. I'm just telling you in the hood store. You know what I'm saying? Next time you will check it out. It's a couple of blacks up there, but most of the women are white. But you in the hood, and it's black-owned store. But it is what it is. And then also the shampoo. They had VO5 on the shelf. Now, black folks weren't rocking VO5 back then, man. We do now. They kind of catered to us a little bit, but back then, black folks weren't rocking no VO5, man. So that's the first couple of things I noticed about when they first got to that store.
That's funny though, because that's one of those things that if you were interviewing Ice Cube or Pooh or F. Gary Gray, and you would ask them, was that on purpose? Like, was that done on purpose to be funny? Because it's always little things in movies or shows that you might see and think is out of place, or not even out of place. You just notice it, or you don't notice it.
Right.
Right there, just for you.
That was a gem right there. And speaking of F. Gary Gray, so we get to see his cameo in the movie, right when Ezell pulls the fake slip and fall, and talking about he want all this money. $50,000. But and F. Gary Gray leans over the counter and told him, "Get up. It ain't even wet over there."
Wet over there.
Yeah. And, hey, did you notice the baseball cap he had on? The first few times I saw that hat, I swore it was a Georgetown hat. I was like, man, they wearing the Georgetown joints over in Cali? But then after seeing some other things in other magazines and seeing him with that same G on his hat, but in different colors, I guess it meant gray or whatever, maybe for his production company or whatever. So, but it had Georgetown colors. The joint was sweet. I mean, the joint was sweet, man. Big blue G, whatever, and that. But it was kind of dope in that. So we get that scene there, and of course he buys, he gets mama cigarettes. Smokey gives the boy the 40, whatever, and Ezell thanks him, and he tells me, "You better be around my house later to wash my car," right? So we plug that in. So then we get back to the crib, and Miss Parker across the street watering the grass. And they see Miss Parker out there, bending forward with the little water in the whole 9 yards, and we know what comes out of their mouth, and they all checking her out. And then we get the legend, rest in peace, Bernie Mac pulls up to the crib. Good old Bernie style. But Bernie said, Brother Jones home, sister, whatever. So he talking to him.
No, they at work.
You should be. And they all of a sudden, one of the guys noticed Miss Parker still doing this thing, and of course Bernie looks Reverend. What was his name in the movie? He was Reverend. I forget his name. But anyway, I do remember he was at 74th Street Baptist Church. I remember that. and he looking over there, and he's looking over there too. But before he look at that, he noticed your boy Smokey is puffing on some of that loud, right? So he said, first after he tell him, what he tell him? He said, what he said? We call that in the 74th Street Baptist a city sin.
Sin.
So around here in Yamley and Weston, we call it a 2020. But look, what we said was funny was how the pastor gonna try to get a hit? Somebody needs something for his cataract.
Well, it's cataract, you know. Get right. Get right.
My goodness, like straight twisted, man.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden he catch notice of Miss Parker too, and he go across the street, want to holler at her real quick. Miss Parker.
Lord have mercy. You know what I want.
You know what I want. Bernie was that dude, man. I'm sorry. No matter what Bernie was in, especially in the early days, you couldn't be. Bernie was funny, man. Like all this stuff. You can even go to fast forward years ahead. What was it joint? His little party had on. Remember How to Be a Player? Like Bernie. Like Bernie. Bernie was that dude. He's always clean though. You got to get to Bernie. Bernie was always clean in that joint, man. So anyway, they sitting out there, and we get the infamous story about Hector, Smokey and Hector, and how he was out there smoking with Hector and his boy the whole 9 yards, and they set Smokey up. He was in there smoking angel dust instead of some regular tree. And we get the famous story about him. What happened? He ended up in Debo chicken coop.
The Debo chicken coop.
And couldn't nobody come get me.
My mama come get me. That's real.
You think about it, man. All the time, like no matter how many problems you gave your mama, the way you didn't talk to her, whatever, she always was there. I can imagine her coming to get him out there too.
She probably been there before. She know it was.
She probably was cussing him out too. Probably interrupted one of her phone calls or something. So we get that story, and then we come back a little bit later, and Stanley, go back to Stanley. Stanley comes out the crib. He about to go make a run real quick. And they talk about being bougie. He had a black car. I still ain't forget what type of car it was, a Corvette. But I didn't know the joint was black, and he pulls off. And all of a sudden, Debo roll up. And that's the first time we see Debo in this movie, right? Yeah, we see when Debo rolls up. And what happened? Oh, yeah. Debo rolls up, and he starts talking to Smokey and them. And I ain't say he convinces Smokey. He tells Smokey, we going up in his crib, and they go break in your boy's Stanley's crib, looking for some cash, right? And making Craig be the lookout. You know what I'm saying? So they go up in there, and in the meantime, while they all live in the crib.
Before you get to that, how many times have you stood behind somebody that you didn't want to see? You didn't want them to see you talking about them, stood behind them and mocking them. Like, yeah. It's like, no, don't do it. Yeah, you're doing everything.
Yeah, that was huge. Craig should have come out. I'm not about to get this stuff with y'all. And all of a sudden, Craig was like, all right. Yeah. Craig, like, he won't mess with people.
I ain't really trying to fight this dude, so let me go ahead and just do what he say.
And so they go up in the crib, and while they're in the crib, you know, doing what they're doing in the house, making a mess, looking for money, we see Mr. Parker come home across the street, little short, I think his name Tony Cox. Mm-hmm. And he come home, and your boy cried, oh, this about to get good, you know. And a little bit later, we see them come running out the crib. And we see your boy come running out the crib, burning full speed. He on his way out the house, the whole 9 yards. And what tripped me out was Miss Parker. Do you hear what she was saying? She was like, "Man, we were just, first like a couple of times, baby, we were just playing."
Yeah.
What was you playing? House?
Having prayer meeting.
Then she said, then she said something about, oh, he won't even good or something. I mean, like, this is like, it's just a mess, man. Like, get caught up in the crib, so they come out. Around about the same time when just before Stanley pulls up, Debo and Smokey just barely make it out the crib, whatever. They get in just in time. And then and come to find out, they got about $200 out the house, right?
Well, Debo got $200.
Well, exactly. Then we Debo. And Debo rides all, saying then Smokey dirty again. You know what I'm saying? He got help, but they ain't get a dude no money. And so they sitting there. So after a while, Craig starts to smoke. Your boy Smokey convinces Craig to go ahead and smoke. But you ain't got no job. You ain't got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? We'll get you high. So they start smoking in that joint. And you can tell your boy is nowhere near the professional that Smokey is, because Craig started tripping quick.
Early, yeah.
And he started tripping like quick. You think about all the trees Smokey had smoked before we even got to this part of the movie.
That day, yeah.
That day. And he's cool as a fan. You know what I'm saying? But Craig get a little bit in him. Craig is tripping hard in this joint, man. Like, you can tell he ain't no regular.
Bro. I told you Craig was clean. He was a hard-working man. He talking about he's stealing boxes. And his friend Smokey.
Man, he knows who stole them boxes, but I ain't gonna get off it. He knows who stole them boxes. He doesn't get he got done the way Debo did Smokey. He just ain't getting nothing out of it. That's what that was. So yeah, that's what happened, right? So and we get the classic line. Well, it's not a classic line, but I always laugh when your boy Craig started tripping too much. And your boy's like, calm down, you get me in trouble. So I'm supposed to be on house arrest. He over here.
Yeah,
they must not have.
Who gonna hear him? Who is going to hear you and come out to check that you're not at home? If you don't know you're not at home now, ain't nobody make no special trip because Craig acting crazy.
They ain't got no specialized ankle monitors and stuff like they got now, right? Like, he's like, calm down. I ain't supposed to even be over here. And so they go through, and we fast forward to another scene when he's going to get something to drink, whatever. And Craig, offers Smoke some Kool-Aid, right? So, of course, we get in the joint. Like, first of all, we really do that as a black household, like, offer everybody Kool-Aid, man? Did we do that?
First of all, as Smokey pointed out, I want some Kool-Aid. Like, what do you mean?
Like, every movie, like, I was thinking about something the other day, like Baby Boy. What you want? You want some water, Kool-Aid, strawberry soda? The Kool-Aid was in every movie, like in the hood. They got that Kool-Aid, man.
Hey, even Babyface on the verses against Teddy Riley, when Teddy said something about his red cup, he said he had grape Kool-Aid in there.
So then we get the classic line. Come to find out, Craig and them ain't got no sugar in the house, and your boy Smoke comes out with that. My folks ain't never got two things go together. Kool-Aid, no sugar. Peanut butter, no jelly. Ham, no burger. And your boy Smoke go back to his crib. He's on some sugar, so he go back to his crib to go retrieve some sugar so they can have some Kool-Aid. And, so they get all that popping. And we fast forward to the next scene, classic scene, man. Classic scene, classic to me. Your girl Nia Long comes over. I think she was looking for Debbie, Craig's sister. And she wasn't home. So you can tell her and Smokey, they cool. You know what I'm saying? They probably on that brother-sister vibe, so obviously they've been cool. And she said, hook me up with your friend. And she said, yeah, my homegirl want to talk to you and all this. And I don't know if you ever noticed this. Do you ever notice when he asked Nia, how she look? She said? You know what she said? Do you remember?
Well, I don't remember what she said at first. I don't remember.
She just said, she's nice. He asked about her. She ain't giving you nothing about, she's nice. You know what I'm saying? So you knew right then it was going to be a problem. Like, we all had that. You back in high school. Oh, what her friend look like? What her friend look like? This and that. And you meet your friend, be like, dang.
She good people. She good people.
So, so they get the number. Your boy, he and that on the line, talking to her in the other room, and talking to a girl on the phone in the other room. And your boy Craig left in the room with Nia Long, and they sitting there. And and you can tell she kind of feeling Craig a little bit. But all of a sudden she asked him, Craig, are you high? And he get the line, no, I ain't high. No. So they switched to Smokey back on the phone again. And he's on the phone with the homegirl, and they getting all this stuff. And he said, what she look like? She said, look like Janet Jackson, and all this. They cut back to Craig and Nia sitting on that couch, right? And your boy Craig doing this. Do I still look high? Like pat yourself down and straighten your clothes gonna make you look like even less.
Trying to get the high off. You gotta get the high off yourself.
I'm like, I swear that last time I watched that, man, that scene alone had me in tears. Like, and her reaction was, he was like, "Do I still look high?" She was like, and so I love that scene right there, man.
Okay. I won't ask you if you ever been high, but okay, have you ever been high and not, like, somebody that's not high is around, trying to figure out, do they know I'm high, or am I acting? Hey, that's a real.
That's real.
That's a real thing. Especially somebody that you ain't supposed to be high around at all. Yeah.
So we get past all that, and they back outside when old girl leave, and Big Worm pull up again with his truck. I mean, got the truck this time, the snack truck, ice cream truck, whatever.
Ice cream truck.
And outside of his normal with his rollers and all that, and the chili Fritos conversation. Who do we see for the first time in this movie?
First and last time?
It was the first and last time. Yep.
First and last time would be Megan Good, right?
It would be Megan Good. Well, I tell you this, depending on which version you watch, if you watch it on DVD, because there is a small scene in the very beginning of one of the clips with her and I think it's the same little boy that wanted the chili Fritos. They sitting on I think they sitting on the curb or something, having a conversation real quick. But other than that, yeah, that is the last time we see her. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that was Megan Good till I probably seen it about 10 times before I realized that was her.
I think I may have known like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen
when she was grown, but yeah.
Yeah, but right, and she said it. She might not even said it. I don't know how I found out, how I realized. I didn't see her and say, "Oh, that's Megan Good."
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was her. She might have mentioned it in an interview, and then, or somebody mentioned it in an interview, and I went back and I was like, "Dang, how did I miss? Like, she's right there." I mean, she was like 12 at the time, so
Oh, yeah. And and the boy, so things go left. They can take the kids' money, and Big Worm gets back in the truck real quick, put his hat on, look like something from KFC, all these stripes, and I'm saying, like Colonel Sanders type joint, and he pulls off. So at least he got a legitimate hustle to try to hide what he does. You know what I'm saying? We
stole the kids' money.
Huh?
Did he steal the kids' money?
Yeah, he took the money.
Yeah, I hate him.
No chili Fritos, none of that stuff, right? So, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So we go through that whole shot there, and he pulls off, and at least he legit, man. We be seeing all these movies where the dealers got their own rim shops and barber shops, and and all these joints, be like Ghost, big time at the laundromat. He got his little truck.
Are you telling me that you believe that Big Worm's legitimate operation was held down by an ice cream truck? And like, hold on. When I see ice cream trucks roll up, I'm like, this must be a part-time job. It got to be. Like, it's hard out here for a pimp. I understand, but ice cream truck, that's a tough sell. That's a tough sell, even back in the day.
Maybe he had multiple ice cream trucks, because he has some trees in there between the oatmeal pies and all that, right?
He had a franchise of ice cream trucks in the hood.
Yeah, might have, man. He might have. big perm, dog. So so we get back there. That's around about the time your boy Smokey is there on the porch and he decided that he got the bubble guts or whatever, stomach messing up on him, and he got to go. He got to go handle his business. Says I'm going home, and your boy Craig was like, come back. So they got to devise a plan on how they're gonna get this money, because we kind of skipped over the part because your boy Big Worm was holding Craig and Smokey were responsible for all the money or the weed that your boy done smoked up. So they supposed to be devising a plan.
And you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's gonna get both of them. So around about the time, so your boy Craig want to make sure he comes back so he can finish devising his plan. Craig goes in the crib real quick. Smokey go to the house. He done forgot his key. And I'm trying to figure out how he forget his key. If you remember earlier when they went back to the house before to get the cigarette, for his mom asked him about going to get the cigarettes, he had forgot his key then. So you left out the house again and forgot your key. So
he had to.
Yeah, ain't no excuse, but he got to get in the house, bro.
That is the only excuse.
So he gets over there, bang on the door, Mama! Can't get in the house. He go back to Craig's crib. We see Mr. Jones. This kind of been some hours had to pass by then because Mr. Jones back home now. Because remember early in the movie he was off to work. Now he back home. He comes to the door with this big giant sub eating, and asked he's got to use the bathroom. He asked Smokey, so you got to do number one, number two, And he told me I had to drop a deuce. So he was like, oh, you ain't doing that in my toilet. He said, yeah, I'm the only one to be doing that in my toilet. So he shut the door on Smoke. Smoke go back to his crib, bang again, can't get in the crib. So he grabs a newspaper and goes to the side of the house. And to handle his business. And lo and behold, who come walking up the sidewalk?
Only person that would come walking up the sidewalk at that particular time, Ezell.
And you know what I came to the conclusion is Ezell has to be the most dedicated, one of the most honest crackheads in history.
Absolutely.
Because he came back to wash his car. Like, how many crackheads you gonna say you owe you a favor, or you owe you for doing something for them, and you tell them to do something later, and they're gonna actually gonna show up?
That's fair. That's fair. I never thought of that. I was thinking more about the other part when he asked me about cleaning up. We ain't really got to that yet. Yeah.
Yeah, man. They looking all in the man business down there. And he's describing what the man got. What he sees when the man drops a number 2 out there. You eating corn.
He had some corn.
So shout out to Ezell, though, man. Ezell's a man of his word.
Smoke in the backyard taking a... I ain't gonna tell nobody else.
Shout out to the dude, man. I don't want to see no crackheads out here, but we got to have one. Give me an honest one like Ezell. The man came back, attempted to do what he said he was going to do, right? So, but lost in all this, in all these scenes, man. You ever notice like every time they have a movie like in Cali, how like close the houses are together? Like,
ain't that real?
Like most of the houses, like almost everybody's yard sitting on top of each other.
Yeah.
And you look at Craig's crib, Pop's got that big, gigantic emergency animal control truck parked in the driveway. And it's like basically, it's almost like if you sitting, the person in the driver's seat, if you go up close to the house, could touch the side of his house, and the person in the passenger seat can touch the side of the neighbor house. Like it ain't no room. And if you watch that movie, it looks like Craig's mama's car, the back of that car is almost out in the street because she had to park behind the truck. Like, it's crazy, man. Yeah, everybody know your daddy the dog catcher. You know what I'm saying? Big army tank truck.
Been there. Not the dog catcher, but I've been there.
Like, he must have been, like, high in the ranks at that joint, man. Like, they let him drive the vehicle home. You know what I'm saying?
The dog catcher. I mean, he was just like he's the company truck, man. He was like, he worked long hours. They let him take the truck home. I ain't mad.
So we you see that big truck out there, man. But that is what it is, man. You got to have rank to drive the vehicle to the crib, right? So Red rolls up, and we get to see boy Pooh. And Pooh rolls up, and his eye looks terrible, right? His eye looks terrible.
Hey, we ain't even talking about them getting knocked out.
Yeah, and I don't know how we even got that part. I forgot that part, but man, but like, so we know he got knocked out earlier, messing around at the
You want some too, man? No.
And you know, and shout out to Michael Clark Duncan, who was in that scene as well, because nobody talks about it, but he's right there. He got to be Debo's homeboy, because he had Debo, Debo let him hold his money while he went and handled business and knocked your boy out, right? So that joint is crazy. But Red rolls up, and I'm trying to figure how many days ago was it, because that joint looked fresh. Like when he took them glasses off, his eye looked fresh, like he just had freshly got 2-piece, 3-piece, whatever.
One piece. He got one piece.
One piece. The car pulls up, and he's out there, and all of a sudden your boy Debo come back up again. And this time, they already know Debo, first of all, disrespectful, because he riding the bike that he had already took.
Debo comes.
He already took from your boy.
Debo,
touching chains. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just tuck mine in. Really?
And he started asking Cass, what you got on my 40? And started patting Cass' pockets down, the whole 9 yards. And everybody talking about, what y'all supposed to be? So y'all supposed to be some players, whatever. Y'all broke as a joke, whatever. And he snatched him, and he snatched your boy chain, right? And this was crazy, right? He's talking about his grandma gave him that chain. Like the whole sequence, like when he's standing there and he about to cry, like you can feel all the tears coming up.
From the point where he was standing there and Debo yelled and he jumped back. From that moment on, it was hilarious. From that point till he ran to the car.
Yeah. He gonna cry in the car. Did you notice he hit the remote of that truck? What kind of car was like a little Ford Pony?
Yeah, like a Chevette up, Pony or something.
Like in the hood, they putting alarms on everything, man.
Oh yeah. Even Smokey had an alarm.
He talking about Detroit. With the bad brakes. So they sitting there and the car pull up, and his car pulls, like, who is that? Who is that? And he asked, what time is it? He said 7:45, right? Lo and behold, that bitch homegirl pulls up, and there's none other than the late Yvette Wilson. And a lot of people knew Yvette Wilson later on from Moesha and the Parkers. She was, what's her name? Andell.
Yeah.
Passed away a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But she pulls up and, come see Smokey. And I'm gonna tell you what's crazy about this scene. And you can only be black folks, right? So when Smokey asked Greg what time it was, he said it was 7:45.
Mm-hmm.
Remember earlier in the movie, and she said she was gonna be there at 7:30. Only black people. We ain't never on time for anything, bro. Only black people. So she show up 15 minutes late.
And then she showed up.
Yes.
Thinking of the way it was set up and how she was portrayed, you would have thought she would have been there at 7:25. Just saying. So
she gets up instead of looking all good like Janet Jackson. Look at the classic. She looked more like Freddie Jackson.
What's up?
So when he get the crazy joints before all that, before the classic line though, he get the line talking about he forgot he got to pick his mama up and won't even go hang. And this is the thing, she offers to take him to go get his mama. Like,
she don't like a lot of people.
Don't like a lot of people.
Yes.
And she pulled her hat off, and the braids and stuff was attached to the hat, man.
That was a one right there. That was a one. She took
how many women as soon as you, like, she was desperate. Like, how many people as soon as you meet her? Well, I take you to go get your mama. Like, we just, all up in the business, man. But Yvette, she played that part, man. I mean, she played that part. And then Miss Jones come out there. Who is that girl I was smoking with? Oh, she a big one. And of course, we get a little bit later when she gone and Craig comes back out the house. You know how it was back in the day when you know your homeboys was gonna get you for something. He was like, I'm clowning. Like, you know, he knew it was coming.
No, she looked like Janet Jackson.
Poor Smokey.
Ready.
So, but towards the end, man, we finally get to the part. They real dash about getting the loot. And, you know, Smokey tries to, he goes by Debbie crib, over with Nia Long and them, and not Debbie, what was Nia? She wasn't Debbie. Debbie was
no. Nia Long was Debbie.
Nia Long was Debbie, that's right. So Debbie, they go by Debbie's crib, come to find out that they got the crib to themselves. Debbie's like, you know, my mom out in town with a boyfriend, whatever. So, Coach Smoke tried to get in. He's like, no, you know, you ain't coming in here. Like, all right, I'll holler at you later. And he goes in there anyway. And she before she dismisses him, she tells him that Debo upstairs sleep with Felicia, her crackhead sister. So after he gets dismissed and leaves, he still's going to try to go up there and he got a plan to try to get that money from Debo. Like, Debo sleeps. Shoot, I can try to get it while he sleeps. So he goes, basically breaks into their house. He goes up the ladder, goes in the window, catch Debo and Felicia in the bed, sleep. First of all, that bed was small as you go with them two people in that bed.
All I see in this scene is them drawers.
Tracks.
I just
you can tell they weren't real tracks. Them jumps was black. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. Everything's possible.
Hey, knock, you know, Felicia end up in the floor sleeping. Don't move. Did not fall out the bed and still sleep. So, you know. And your boy Smokey almost got the money. He about to go through your boy pockets. And once again, our favorite crackhead, Ezell, come crawling through the window. And start making too much noise to the fact that your boy started to move. Debo starts moving a little bit in the bed, whatever, he gets scared. And they both go back out the window and leave. So we don't realize until, I don't totally realize anyway, that he didn't get anything at all, honestly, until they downstairs. And when they're back outside, he's back in there talking to Crazy. I almost had the money. And then Ezell came through the window and messed up everything. So they sitting there. He didn't have the money to pay. They was going to use to pay back Big Worm. And then the famous drive-by scene comes up. And they start running. Shots get exchanged a little bit. We see some of your boy Big Worm's boys coming after him, looking for him. We see WC always gets a quick cameo in all the Pooh and Cube movies. He's one of the guys, and they out there hiding out. They end up in the back of a pickup truck. Smokey in there crying. He's supposed to be this gangster. He in there crying. And all that pops off. And then after all the shooting stops, everybody starts coming out of the neighborhood like we all do in the neighborhood. Something pop off in the neighborhood. You hear accident, gunshots. All of a sudden, a little bit later, people poking their heads out, what's going on? Is everybody okay? And people talking around the neighborhood. And we see Debbie come across the street with Felicia. And evidently, you know, Debo done laid hands on her. He didn't hit her. And Debbie is upset. So she walks up to Debo, goes off on for hitting the sister, and talking about, you lucky I'm not a man, and I'll beat you behind, and all this and third. And Debo does, you know, he's wrong. He goes up and he comes at, he pushes Debbie. And Craig comes out of nowhere. And it's a female. And he jumps up at it. All of a sudden he in Debo's face, right? And we really get to see the big size difference between Craig and Debo in this particular scene, man. And all of a sudden your boy he's about to pull out what he had, a shank. He had some lawn shears. I forgot what he had, but Debo had something he about to pull out.
He had a knife.
Had a knife. Now Craig like, I ain't even trying to fight you, man. Whatever. And next thing you know, Debo pulls it out. Whatever. Debo goes up. Debo comes at him anyway. They get into it.
Got to pull the gun out.
Yeah, he pulled the gun out. Had the famous gun scene. Craig pulls the gun out on him, and he has a quick flashback of a conversation he had with his dad about when they used to fight with their hands and all that. When you first saw that part, though, did you think Craig pulled the trigger?
I don't remember. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. I can't find
Yeah,
it.
because you remember they do it so quick. Like he's standing there and he's got the gun, and also, when it goes off, and for a minute there's nothing, and then there's the whole dream sequence. My first thought before they got back to what really happened was that he pulled the trigger, but he some kind of way he missed, even though he was standing that close. Now I thought we was gonna come back to a scene that he missed, and then all of a sudden, you know, Debo wailing on him or whatever. But it didn't happen. He didn't pull the trigger. So I'm a man with he drops a gun. And Craig mans up. I don't know where he found that.
Put the gun down. Get knocked out like your daddy used to.
Yeah. And they get into it. Craig got some shots in. Like, I mean, you got to give it to him. He held his own for a minute, but he made the one fatal mistake. And I know because in my lifetime, I did it one time myself. It was handling business, getting shots in, and tried to pick somebody up that had me by mad weight. And that's when it all went downhill. On both my end too, right? So so your boy started getting the best of him. And they get real dirty. And he even takes your boy Craig, slam him up on the car. Now I'm gonna tell you what was disrespectful. I don't know if it was respectful or disrespectful. When he had Craig pretty much out and he slammed him on the car, he didn't just leave him on the car.
Nah.
He pulls him off the car and he'll put him down. I'm like,
laid him on the ground. So kind.
like, oh, 9 yards.
Thank you.
And things was about over, and your boy Craig got that brick. Craig made up. Your boy pops him. Get up, son. Get up, son. I've been down before. And your mama want to jump in, and but Craig gets up and hits him with the brick. And then things go up, and Craig go to town, and Craig ends up winning that fight. Craig ain't beating that man without that brick.
100%.
Yeah, so, and of course, and then everything goes the way it goes. Have your boys, everybody, your boy gets his chain back. Look, this is the thing, man. Your boy gets his chain and his bike back. This ain't jump. My grandma gave me that chain. He grabbed the chain. They seen we see him riding down the street on the bicycle. But Ezel comes back over there, puts the knife back down on him, but he took his shoes. Talking about, he said, I steal. I don't kill. And all that. And he got Pops, now old girl, the sister's friend trying to go back in the house and finish doing hair or whatever. Pops all up on like this. She looked like she crazy. I forget what's her name. Terry Vaughn.
That's old girl from Steve
Harvey's show, Soul Food.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff she's been on. And then Craig over there getting his Mac on. Debbie's even more, enticed by him now. He just stood up for her.
As she should be.
Yeah, he stood up for her. And she was like, what she say, what are you doing tomorrow about 8:30? Or what time you get up tomorrow? He said about 8:30. And she said something about you want to come over tomorrow or something or whatever. And he was like, what did he say? Yeah, he said 8:30. He said, I'll be up. And he's like, make it 7:30. So Craig gets the girl, and it is what it is. When you think about, I look at Nia Long in this particular sequence, I'm like, she is like the movie, like Prize for the Hood. Like, this movie, Craig was after, you know what I'm saying? Boys in the Hood, Trey was after, Trey got, so, it is what it is. Shout out to Nia Long, though. Shout out to Nia Long in this movie. Loved her part as well. And she played it just right.
She is the prize. I don't know what you're talking about. The hood prize. She is the prize.
The prize.
I mean, I know Sanaa Lathan is more number one. And I appreciate everybody that loves Hattie.
Number one like KRS. Right?
But Nia Long, yeah, that's me.
And I'm glad you said that because I can't wait till we do Love and Basketball. But anyway, so let me tell you something. Did you notice one character in this movie that was not there at the end of the night when the whole neighborhood came out after the shooting and during the fight?
Let's see. Stanley was there, right? Yeah. He was the first one to come out and say gunshots. And then
He ain't saying about nobody laying in his yard either. Then
Yeah, I mean, once the guns go off, it all changes. Smokey Mom's out there. The Jones family was there. Felicia was there. Ezel was there. Who am I missing?
Smoking Mom was there.
Who missing?
Miss Parker. Mr. Parker was hot, boy. I don't remember seeing Miss Parker no more. He was serious when he threw them clothes out in that yard, man.
Might not have made it.
When you see Miss Parker no more.
That's a good point. So she might have been gone, or she might not have made it. I don't know.
Yeah, so we don't see Miss Parker at the end, and that wraps up a classic movie, man. Like, Craig got the girl and Pop's approval in this one. You know what I'm saying? Remember, that's my boy. I mean, that's a win-win. You know what I'm saying? Pops probably gave him a few extra days to find a job. You know what I'm saying? Or get back to work, because I do remember in one of the cuts, I don't think it was a regular cut or the extended cut, Pops says, he tells Craig, I think it might have been the extended cut, there's a scene where he tells Craig that his old job called him and wanted to give him a call the next day.
Definitely got to be the extended.
Yeah, so, I think it was an extended version. So we all assume if you saw that Craig probably got his job back for whatever reason. So, it is what it is.
Figured out on him. And he won't in the video, and he won't to look out, sir.
Oh, yeah, we can't forget about your boy. So Craig, we forget about Craig gets on the phone, though. He tell the old girl it's over. He calls, Paula J up on the phone. It's over. And we also, your boy Smoke sticking his chest out and on the phone with Big Rum, I got your money. You send them fools over me and my boy. They're about to get dealt with. And then, so he talking smack on the phone. And then your boy, Worm still come at him, let you know about his principalities in this, and letting him know that stop tripping. You really ain't no hood dude for real, and all this. And we get all that. And he talking about he gonna stop smoking, and it goes off with him still smoking. And then this, man, and it goes off, right? So, Smokey gonna be smoking, he gonna smoke. And that's just what we get out of that, right? But you think about this movie, man, what made it so great. They made it with basically no money.
Yeah.
Basically no money. They had an idea. They said that the people didn't love it. And you look at some of the things that got me in this. First of all, did you know who was supposed to be Smokey at first?
I feel like I heard it before, but I can't remember who it was.
It was Pooh. When they wrote the script, DJ Pooh was supposed to have been Smokey. And they said once they got F. Gary Gray involved and they started talking about it and writing it up, they said they felt like they needed someone that had been out there a little bit, even though he hadn't blown up yet. He had seen him on some of the comedy joints. And your boy remembered seeing Cube. They remember seeing Chris Tucker. So they go get Chris. They go get Chris Tucker to do this joint. And the funny thing about it was, they said the first time he came in and read for, they said he was not good.
For real?
They said it was not good at all. He's kind of forced. It just didn't seem funny to them. And they were going to give up on him and try to find somewhere else. And then Cube was kind of like, I didn't see this dude. For this dude funny, let's try something else. So they said they rewrote a couple of things. But as you know, as John Witherspoon pointed out in one of his interviews, they end up, and what made the movie so good, they added a lot of the stuff. It just was natural. And it tested a lot better, so they kept it. They said, but even so, when they finished the first half of the movie, they went to, actually they finished the movie, they did a screening, a private screening. They was like, they didn't feel this movie was really all that great. None of them collectively. And they said they couldn't believe 5-10 minutes into the movie, the selected audience was all over themselves just laughing. And they said, all of them looked at each other like, yeah, we might got something here, And he said none of them expected it to blow the way that it did. But just think, Chris Tucker was almost not in the movie.
When you think about it that way, was I'm trying to remember when was Money Talks. Money Talks was after Friday. It was a
Mm-hmm.
joint after Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have been no Money Talk, or he wouldn't have been in Money Talk.
And what's the other joint? Money Talks and what's the other joint he was? It was another joint that he was in. And
Similar to that?
huh?
Was it similar to that? I can't
It
remember.
was, it was around about that time period, maybe a little bit later. Yeah, Money Talks.
Next thing I think of is Fifth Dimension, and I don't remember when that was. Like,
No, he had another comedy joint, man. Chris Tucker was in. Look that joint up real quick. It wasn't Money Talks. It was another joint that was mad funny.
Fifth Element.
Huh?
Fifth Element is what I meant, actually.
All right, so I refresh my memory. The one that
Dead Presidents.
no,
House Party. Panther.
No, what's the name? Hold on, is Money Talks. I'm thinking about something wrong. Which one was Money Talks? The one he was in with Charlie Sheen?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. I was thinking about Money Talks. Okay, it was Money Talks.
Yeah, I love Money Talks. That was 1997.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
Classic joint. And then we might not have got all the rush hours and all that either. So
true.
Great movie. And you think about they made this movie and you think about the success it had, but they had no money. And they all only made like $5,000 a person to do Friday.
Right. That's what John Witherspoon said when he did one of those interviews. It's like everybody gonna make a lot more money if we do it again. Bring everybody together. It's gonna cost a lot more money, which is one of the problems. Trying to get it done, which is understandable. But look at it now.
Yeah,
you can still do it, but it ain't gonna be the same.
Yeah, they like they made $5,000 a piece. Of course, Q probably made a little bit more because that was his thing. But $5,000 a piece for the main characters, and you're going to think about John Witherspoon said in an interview, it was so successful. You go on to the next movie, and he said he got paid. What was it, $400,000? Yeah, so he went from $5,000 one movie from the best movie of the three to $400,000, for the next one. That spawned success for a movie that was not expected to do what it did.
It was a throwaway. I'm pretty sure they didn't care. Not them, not Cuban them, but the powers that be didn't care anything about that movie for real. And if it wasn't Ice Cube involved, it would have never happened. Yeah,
and then it's probably. When we talk about this movie, it's probably my favorite. It's definitely in the top 2 or 3. Because every time I say it's my favorite, a couple will pop up. But we think
Friday
about
movies?
Huh? No, it's number 1 out of all the Friday movies. Period. I'm just talking about movies in general, or at least comedy.
Really?
Yeah, it's now I'm gonna tell you. It's probably my number 1. It's probably my number 1. Now, House Party itself holds a just dear place in my heart just because of the time period and some experiences and stuff I went through that, that were in that movie. This just kind of make me laugh, and just it was what it was.
Right.
If we talk about movies, low budget movies and things, but it's that, and I probably would fight between Friday and Coming to America a lot. It depends on which one is on at the time. Coming to America's up there too.
I mean, that's my favorite 2 movies.
Yeah. So I would say with Friday, the thing about Friday is with Friday and Coming to America, the one thing that makes both of them so huge is you've got generations of people that weren't even born when these movies came out, and they are well aware of these movies and have watched them more than once. You see what I'm saying? When you get something like that, nobody had to force them to watch it. The kids flipping through the channels one day and they see it, whatever, and they watch it. Right. Those are classic movies. It's kids, it's people that weren't born that could recite lines from both of those movies.
You know what? Neither of my kids, not that I know of, have seen Friday. And I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, ain't no wild sex in Friday. It's just language.
Just language.
We might have to watch that.
Yeah.
I might have to break that joint out for real.
That's one of my joints. So my youngest son is between the age of your two daughters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think about this movie, and you as a father, you've always have those moments that you'll never forget. Certain things the kids said when they were small or whatever. And the one thing that sticks out to me, and especially when the kids say something they ain't supposed to be saying, and you try not to let them see you laugh. But I remember when my youngest son was smaller, he was young. And my oldest son and my daughter was all in the room, and I come down there, and I knew what they was watching. And all of a sudden, out his mouth was, "You ain't got shit to do." And I was like, "Don't say that." And I walked back down the hall.
Like, how do I handle this?
And all I can see is, number one, me trying not to laugh. I didn't want him to see me laugh. But my daughter and my oldest son kind of looked at me like, they put their head, and they was laughing too. And like, that's one of those moments I'll never forget, man. You got shit to do.
Does he remember?
Yeah. You're at that point now where you're always reminiscing about stuff. I mean, we don't have babies. They might be gonna always be our babies, but they're not young anymore. And it's, you're gonna always reminisce about certain things, and that's in the top 5 of the things we talk about and laugh about all the time.
Wow, that's funny.
And that's from someone who wasn't even close to being, wasn't even thought of, and when this movie was made.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's all I got on it, man. This was fun for our first one. If you're gonna do it, you got to do it with a classic. You got to do it with a classic. And I know when we do some of these down the road, all of them won't be as detailed, but it was just kind of hard not to do it with this movie because it is what it is.
Right.
It is what it is. So, but we'll have some other stuff coming up, man. We're gonna do more comedies, we're gonna do drama, action, biopics, whatever we feel like doing. Down the road, we'll not look at some TV series as a whole, or things of that nature. And it's something we can do because we ain't got to stop doing it even when football season kicks up. Not something we're gonna do every week. It might be once a month or whatever, or whenever. But it's something that's fun, man. I'm enjoying doing it. I think the people enjoy it too.
Absolutely. Can't go wrong with Friday.
No doubt. So if you're checking this out or checking us out for the first time, we are the Sports Bar Podcast. We call it the SBP. You can find us on Facebook. And we are always there having fun for all your sports needs, your hip-hop needs, your TV, your movies. We drink plenty of beer. And we don't put food in our description, but we always flashing chicken wings and all that stuff in there. So we do what we do. We want you to be a part of it and bring your peoples along. I'm one half of the dynamic duo. They call me Prime. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at PrimeSBK.
I am Sauce at Smitty Sauce on Twitter and Instagram at Smitty Sauce. And everything he just said. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching, listening, joining the group, all that good stuff. And we here.
And we out of here. And you know this, man.